So we know all about polluting the air at the moment, don't we? By what comes out of us. We've been reminded constantly over the last 18 months to wear a mask. Just in case the droplets that we cough or sneeze or breathe out contain a virus. So we all wear masks, just in case we breathe out a virus and so that we don't breathe in a virus. And what about air pollution? Industries that cough out dirty air into the atmosphere, polluting the fresh air that God has given us to breathe. We're thankful that we are now all being asked to think about keeping the air a bit cleaner and trying to work out cleaner ways to produce energy so we don't cough out this pollution into the atmosphere. And so today, Jesus gives a very clear message, doesn't he? That it's what comes out of a person that defiles or pollutes them. Jesus could see a lot deeper to the inside of every person, to where they really need to be made clean. And so Jesus says, from within, out of the heart of a man come evil thoughts. It's from within, out of a person's heart, that evil thoughts come. The Pharisees actually had it the wrong way around, didn't they? They thought that by washing their hands many times and doing lots of religious rituals, they'd not only appear clean and pure to everyone around them, they actually believed that these actions made them pure and holy. They didn't realise that the uncleanness actually came from within them, from within their hearts. So Jesus responded to them by saying no matter how hard and long they washed their hands, their hearts would never be cleaned by these rituals. The real uncleanness came from within. Jesus said nothing outside a man can make him unclean by going into him. Rather, it's what comes out of a man that makes him unclean. A bit like we've seen in our pictures. So if that's the case, how do we get cleaned up on the inside? From what we've heard from John's Gospel the last few weeks, we realise that it's only Jesus that can clean us up on the inside. In the past few weeks, we've heard about Jesus healing the sick. He also cleansed lepers, and we see that what actually happened with Jesus was that touching Jesus was the opposite of being infected. Touching Jesus would actually make us clean. It's the opposite. All who touched him were healed. So touching Jesus made people clean. It actually disinfected them. It's the opposite of everything else we've been hearing about. Because Jesus was pure and clean, and he could do that. He could heal. And Jesus is actually the only person who's ever lived who was completely clean, completely sinless. His purity can and could make others clean. That's why his death on the cross paid so effectively and perfectly for our sins. Because Jesus, in his perfect sinlessness, could effectively deal with our sinfulness. And only he can clean us up on the inside. By his wounds, we are healed. So let's look again at those things that come out of our heart. From within, out of our heart, come evil thoughts. Sexual immorality, theft, murder, adultery, greed, wickedness, deceit, lustful desires, envy, slander, pride, and foolishness. All these vile things come from within. These are what defile you. It's hard to believe these things live in our hearts, isn't it? We may not act them out, but Jesus seems to think we're capable of thinking these things. Maybe not the biggies like murder and theft and immorality, but what about greed, envy, arrogance, pride? What about folly, foolishness, slander? We are capable of all these evil thoughts, and we need Jesus to come and clean us up. And he will if we ask him. Jesus wants to fill us and cleanse us and change us. And it may take time, but as we walk with him, he does. He changes us. That's what he wants to do. He wants to make us new. And as we've heard, he nurtures us with his life, his living bread. And we can invite Jesus to come in and clean up the mess. Because Jesus is beautiful and pure and sinless, and he's powerful, and he wants to make us new and transform us and purify us and clean us up and give us new life inside us. It's a bit like spring, isn't it? It's the reading we had this morning. The beautiful first reading said in the Song of Songs, "Lo, the winter has passed. Flowers appear on the earth. The season of singing has come." And spring is a wonderful time to realise this beauty and creativity and the holiness of Jesus, which can be in us, working its beautiful cleansing and purifying. It's a bit like a spring clean. We let Jesus in to come and do a spring clean. And to realise his perfect love in us will do all these things to make us like him. Make me like you. Change my heart, O God. Make me like you. So as new life starts to spring up all around us, we can see how God brings life from the dark, cold soil and the tiny bud. And we're reminded that he will actually bring life into us, within us. As his seed is planted in us, he can do all these things. Today, our prayer is that the life of Jesus might live and grow in us and make us clean. He's working in each of us to cleanse us so that instead of polluting the world, we are actually filling the earth with the beautiful fragrance of Christ. And out of us will flow living waters. And we won't be making the world polluted. We'll actually be cleaning the world with Jesus' love and his light.